I wanted to talk about gracing yourself whenever you have ADHD and things don't go according to plan. So, even though as someone that has ADHD, it's pretty normal to not want much structure. At least that's the case for me, or that's what I've learned. That whenever I set too much of a structured day to day, a lot of times I don't accomplish what I had set my mind to for the day or for the week. So things like calendar blocking, for example, hasn't necessarily worked for me because sometimes I would put, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this other thing and all of these things. And I would not stick to it. And then I would see my calendar and I would compare it to the reality and realize that it's not the same. I did not follow my calendar blocking schedule and structure, and I would feel like a failure, right? So because of that, I kind of ditched that and started doing checklists instead, and not even daily checklists, but weekly checklists. And that way I would know certain tasks to do for the rest of the week. And whenever I would feel motivated to do one or the other, I would just tackle that randomly. So, so with that said, what I wanted to say is that even though having some flexibility for myself has proven to be what works best rather than having a lot of structure, I still need structure. And I don't know if you can relate to this. It's like I need structure. I guess I need a flexible structure, if that makes sense. I can't have it too structured because then it's too restrictive and I cannot follow through, and then I feel like a failure. But I can't have no structure, right? I still need a checklist. I still need to plan things. I still need to have a general idea of how the day is gonna go, how the week's gonna go. I still need a general idea and a general structure because that creates like an anchor for myself and for my brain, and it just gives me some sense of stability mentally, right? So the thing about that is that sometimes even that small flexible structure goes off the window. It happens. In this case, it's happened to me with this little one. I've been able to set her into a little sleeping and feeding routine, slowly building to something that's been stable, honestly, for the last few weeks. And it's been fantastic because it's given me a little bit of structure of like, okay, from this time to this time, I can take a shower. From this time to this time, I have a good window of time to cook or to do some chore, right? Or do this videos or whatever. Like, I was able to have a level of stability and predictability in the midst of uncertainty because, she's a little human. She has a mind of her own. Her body is her own. Her feeding might change depending on growth spurts or whatever. But just having that routine has given me a level of structure and stability. And I think that without realizing, I've been just clinging to this routine like it's my life savior, or like, what do you call it? How do you call it? The floaties. Is it called a life savior? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, like those floaties, right? Lifesaver? A lifesaver, right? That's what it's called, a lifesaver. I think I've been clinging too strong to that structure, to the point that losing the structure has been giving me so much anxiety, in the sense of, not that I'm like, oh my gosh, but just like I really, really do not want her to get off her routine, because then I'm not going to be able to do the things that I need to do. I'm not going to be able to cook. I'm not going to be able to just do laundry. I'm not going to be able to work on my projects, work on this. Or even if I don't have something planned for the day, like I still want to do stuff. Like I'm not going to be able to schedule a play date. It's not really a play date, but I've been trying to visit friends so that she's surrounded by more things rather than just me in the house, right? And just clinging to that, because lately, like I mentioned in my past video, she has not been following her schedule. I'm not sure if she's going through a growth spurt. I'm not sure if she's coming down with something, because I've had like itchy nose in the last few days, and I don't know if maybe I've given her something. I'm not sure, but her schedule has been so off, like, oh my gosh. And I've been just hyper focusing on trying to fix it. What is the issue? What's the root cause? Maybe she's waking up too late. Let me wake her up earlier. Maybe I'm waiting too long until her next nap. Let me see if I can get her to nap earlier. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe it's too bright. Let me close the curtains. Maybe it's too loud. Let me put white noise, and just like trying to do all of these different things and to get her back into a routine. And today I'm just like, I just can't. I can't. And you know, I've just in a sense given up, but at the same time I'm like bracing myself, because to me giving up is like, oh my gosh, I'm not even giving up like fully. I'm giving up for the day. But just that, it just carries so much shame whenever I give in into these things, whenever I let go of something that I've set my mind to or that I was hyper focusing on. I just feel like a failure. And the funny thing is that today I've been like, for a couple of minutes I've been feeling like a failure, like, you know what, I give up on this routine, when, you know, at the end of the day I actually have food cooking. Like, no, my cat's sniffing into my camera, I don't want him to drop it. I managed to have food cooking, like it's there in the crock pot ready for later. Like I got something accomplished. I was able to actually take a shower. I took a shower today. I was able to get ready, you know, and I know this sounds like tiny things, but I'm able to make this video right now. And yeah, I'm holding her, and like the angle is funky and the background might not be beautiful. But you know what? I'm getting things done, and it's okay. And maybe the routine didn't work out today. Like, you know, I just pretty much had her on my boob and let her sleep and eat at the same time. And I'm like, you know what, just whatever. And just because one thing does not go perfect, just because a little structure that you have set for yourself, you're not able to follow through, you know what, it's okay. Sometimes there's days when things just don't happen the way you had planned, and that's totally fine. And that doesn't mean that everything goes out the window, you know? Play it by day by day. Like Jesus did say, do not be anxious about tomorrow, because today has its own worries. And yeah, it's true. Today was filled with stuff and filled with uncertainties, and I was worrying about tomorrow and the day after and my scheduled appointments. And you know what? I'll figure it out. If my baby starts crying in the doctor's office, she starts crying at the doctor's office. If I need to pop my boob out so that she calms down, I guess I'll pop my boob out. I mean, probably the doctor's seen boobs before, and it's gonna be fine. So, you know, just give yourself some grace. Sometimes there's days that are a little bit off, and that's totally fine. And especially if you have ADHD, because we might cling and hyper focus on these structured plans, on these ideas or things that goals that we've set for ourselves. And just because we didn't accomplish that one specific goal, we feel like a complete failure, and we neglect the fact that we've accomplished so many other goals the rest of the time. But just because we didn't accomplish that one thing, it's like our lives is just it just sucks. It just sucks, and it's a total failure when it really it's not. So that's what's on my mind today, and I just thought to share it. And yeah, if you can relate, give it a like button, click on the like button to let me know, or leave a comment if this you've experienced this before. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts on this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.